and family-owned. WOMT Manitowoc and 107.9 FM W300EE Manitowoc, a Seehafer broadcasting station.
And good afternoon as we welcome you to our WOMT and WCUB studios. Glad to have you along if you are listening either on 107.9, 1240 AM or WOMTradio.com. And for our WCUB listeners, thank you for listening to 980 AM, 97.1 FM or cubradio.com as we present our first of two Seehafer News debates. The pre-primary for the spring general election is 1 week away. We will have the three candidates today vying for a seat in District 3 on the Manitowoc Common Council today. And then tomorrow from 1 to 2, we will welcome into our studios the three candidates that will be vying for a seat in District 7. The top two vote getters in next Tuesday's spring primary will advance to the Tuesday, April 6th election, and then the winner there will earn a 2-year term to represent their district they are vying for a seat on the Common Council with, and they will begin their term Tuesday, April the 20th. Welcome to our Seehafer News debates, presented by Novak Service Center in Manitowoc. My name is Brian Norton. I'll be the moderator for both of the debates this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon. In our WOMT studios are the three candidates hoping to become the top two vote getters when you go out to cast your ballots next week in District 3. And joining us in studio today, Teresa Collins, Mike Cummings, and Angela Myers, all vying to replace Jeremiah Novak, who decided after two 2-year terms to not run for a third. These three are hopeful that they will be able to sit on the Common Council seat for District 3 come Tuesday, April the 20th. Angela, Teresa, Mike, thank you for being here today, and welcome to our debate. Glad to have you here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thanks, Brian.
And before we get going, we did determine via a very unique coin flip who would be going first to give opening statements and who would be last, and then we will go in verse for the closing statements at the end of our debate. Angela Myers won the flip of the coin. She'll go first. Teresa Collins will go second, and then Mike Cummings will go third. Before we get to our opening statements, just a couple of reminders to our listeners. We will not accept any phone calls during today's debate, so please do not call. And if you have a question for any of our candidates, feel free to text our WOMT Shoreline text line at 682-4674, 682-4674. Once the opening statements are given, I will ask a few questions of the candidates to get things going. And then we also have some pre-emailed questions from some of our listeners. And again, if we do have any questions that come in on our WOMT Shoreline text line at 682-4674, we will do our best to get those in. So without any further ado, Angela Myers, you won the flip of the coin. You have 90 seconds to give your opening statement. Go ahead, please.
Thanks, Brian. The first thing that I wanted to open with is that there's a quote from Coolest Coast that I really think speaks to me. It says, "When we take pride in our surroundings and promote positive self-talk, together we can make an amazing community." I feel, this is my overarching theme. I feel that the biggest impact that we can make is when the things that we can touch our family, our neighborhood, and our community. When we have positive feedback and when we make positive things happen, it has a ripple effect. I've seen growth in the community, and I want to keep it up. I want to see if we can keep and attract younger people. I want my sons, I'm a single mother, I want my sons to grow up proud of our community, proud that we celebrate diversity and that we lift each other up, because I think that's who Manitowoc really is.
Thank you, Angela. And Teresa, you have 90 seconds to make your opening statement. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, and thank you to Seehafer for being the only one to do a pre-primary debate. I'm really excited that we have this opportunity, and I want to thank your informed listeners as well for taking the time to educate yourselves on the local politics. I want to tell you a little bit about me. I am experienced, dedicated, and qualified for this position. I am a local downtown business owner, Beacon Consulting, right across the street from the courthouse. We also own the building and some downtown property apartments and such. I truly live, work, and play in District 3. I live right next to Hartman's Bakery. We've got all kinds of stuff that we can do right there in our downtown, and we don't often leave District 3. Advocacy and representation are really why I am running. I am truly passionate about the issues in Manitowoc, and I've demonstrated that with my involvement throughout the years. You can often see me at City Hall during council meetings giving my public input statement and truly advocating for others. My kids go to school here, and I want to be part of positively impacting the community they grow up in.
Thank you, Teresa. And Mr. Cummings, you have 90 seconds to make your opening statement. Go ahead, please.
All right, I'm Michael Cummings. I've lived in Manitowoc in my current residence for 14 years. I have a wife and 5 awesome children, 3 boys and twin girls. I'm running for city council because I've always had an interest in politics and impacting the community and the organizations that I'm a part of. But then also because, like I said, I've been here for 14 years. I'm continuing to live here probably for the remainder of my life, probably in the same house. And I want to help do my part to make the best community for the remainder of my life and also my children growing up in our community. On top of that, Manitowoc, I've grown up in Reedsville, moved here, like I said, and I've grown to love the city. I love the direction that it's going. I want to continue the momentum that it's going and bring my experience from a small town community, my world travels, and bring that to Manitowoc and continue that momentum that we have.
Thank you, Mr. Cummings. And once again, if you are just tuning in, this is a pre-primary debate for District 3 to serve a 2-year term on the Manitowoc Common Council beginning on April 20th. The winner of this pre-primary, or I should say the top 2 vote-getters in next Tuesday's spring primary, will advance on to the general election on April 6th, and the winner of that will then earn a 2-year term to succeed Jeremiah Novak, the current incumbent in District 3 who filed non-candidacy papers last year. Well, before, one thing I do have to remind you, Tim has reminded me, if you are going to text in questions, you've got to use the area code. Okay, my bad. 920-682-4674, 920-682-4674. Got to use that area code if you want to go ahead and text in a question or questions to our candidates here on the WOMT Shoreline text line. Well, just a few questions I have for the candidates, and Teresa, will have you go first this time, and again, you'll have 90 seconds to respond. I know that you gave, quite an eloquent statement, all 3 of you did in your opening, but specifically, I want to know what spurred you to feel you had to run for this seat. What spurred you to say, I'm going to make a difference, I want to represent District 3? Specifically, what is it? Teresa, go ahead, please.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to answer that question. It's really important to me. I've considered it for years and years running, and I think the tipping point was, I feel like just recently with all of the issues that are coming up that we are sort of forced to address right now, and me taking an active stance on those issues, sometimes my treatment was they didn't want to give me the attention and that I really wanted to chime in. I wanted my voice to be heard, and I didn't feel that it was being heard or respected. So I thought, you can only complain about something for so long until you have to get up and do something about it. And that's when I decided that I do have a lot to say, that I can help and represent and advocate for other people, and that's why I decided to run.
Thank you, Teresa. Mr. Cummings, you're next. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, ultimately, I've always had the interest in politics, like I said, and followed it. With the recent events that we've had, that we've experienced nationally, and then, of course, it hit us locally, I wanted to take an active role in our community to make sure that if we did have something happen, that it doesn't happen here. Now, the thing is, I don't know the other candidates personally, but I do know myself. So my dad told me when I was younger, you can always either lead, follow, or get out of the way. I'm personally too slow to get out of the way. When I follow, then you're held by parameters, so I'd rather lead and then make sure that in the unexpected, I know myself and I know that I can go and make sure that we maintain calm in any unexpected situation and do whatever the right thing is, so we don't have a situation like what happened at various communities throughout our country.
Thank you, Mr. Cummings. And Angela, you have 90 seconds. Go ahead, please.
Thanks, Brian. Like the other two candidates, I have seen the things that have been going on locally and globally, and I wanted to make a difference. I think that's it in a nutshell. I wanted to make a difference. I want us to be able to be proud of where we come from and change the things that are going on locally so that we can come together instead of dividing, because there's been way too much division in our city and in our country and recently, and we need to do something to get us to come together.
As I rearrange my mask here, thanks, Angela. Yeah, I don't know. The thing just isn't cooperating here today. So as I fidget with that, here we go. Okay, one more question here, I guess, before we move on. And Mr. Cummings, you'll go first this time. Have you had during this pandemic, an opportunity to reach out, knock on doors, talk to constituents in District 3? And if so, what are the main concerns that they have addressed specifically to you?
Yeah, when I announced the candidacy, then I immediately created a website. Also, I'm active on Facebook as well. The website is mikecummings.net. And I had people reach out to me with those questions. I've also went around door to door and also talked to people and hung door signs. But some of the concerns, obviously, are the roadways, parking, and I even had one say with technology. As far as we have a website for the city of Manitowoc, but then since I do have a technology background with my business, that could be viewed as something that we could enhance. Part of it is I do believe in transparent communication. I believe that the citizens of Manitowoc should know what's going on and at least have the opportunity to voice their opinion. And we have the base load for that technology, but through my experiences, I believe I can help enhance that. And if we are looking to expand, know whether we're doing the right thing or not with that. Also, like I said, I've posted videos on Facebook and my website. You can look at that as well.
Thank you, Mr. Cummings. And Angela, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I've been, since I declared my candidacy, almost pretty much every weekend I've been on the north side and the south side knocking on doors, talking to people, giving them my literature. I've had people talk to me about concerns about public use versus private use of land in the district. I've had them ask about replacing lead pipes. I've had them talk about the streets, the 8th Street and 10th Street one-way, converting it to two-way. There have been concerns about speed. People driving up and down those streets, that's a big concern. So that's what I got.
Thanks, Angela. And Teresa, go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, I've knocked quite a few doors, and I'll be back out as soon as it gets bearable again to do so. I felt bad for people having to answer their doors in this weather. I know I don't like to open mine. I did make a list of the different things that I'm hearing from constituents as I'm going around. Downtown parking seems to be a big concern of a lot of people. Roads and transportation, transportation is really tough, especially in the COVID environment. And we have to keep in mind those people who don't have their own transportation and the fact that our bus lines only run until about 6 p.m., I believe, or 7 p.m. So there's lots of shifts that aren't covered by our local transportation, and that's a concern for some people. Big one, again, is government transparency. People want to know what's going on. They want to be asked their opinion, and they want to be included in the decisions. They don't like to be spoon-fed information. They want to be a part of the decision-making process.
Thank you, Teresa. And if you are just tuning in to either 97.1 WCUB or 107.9 WOMT and WOMTradio.com or CubRadio.com, you are listening to a Seehafer News debate presented by Novak Service Center Manitowoc. With the three candidates that are going to be pared down to two a week from today in the spring primary to represent District 3, and then those two will advance to the April 6th general election ballot. And then the winner on April 6th will earn a 2-year term to represent District 3 on the Manitowoc Common Council. And you say, where is District 3? Well, it covers the downtown area, specifically from Waldo Boulevard south to Columbus Street, and then from the lake west to South 10th along the Manitowoc River to Spring Street and on North 11th. So a lot of the northern part of the city of Manitowoc bounded by some pretty good boundary waters. But these three are looking for your vote a week from today And then they will be looking for your vote if they are the top two to advance on to the spring general election, and then beginning serving a 2-year term to represent District 3 in Manitowoc on Tuesday, April the 20th. They are Angela Myers, Teresa Collins, and Michael Cummings, and you are listening to the Seehafer News Debates that are presented by Manitowoc Service Center, Manitowoc.
Manitowoc Service Center. Trust us.
At Manitowoc Service Center, we're more than your local mechanic. We're a family-owned business, and we understand the importance of shopping local, supporting those in need, and showing our appreciation. That's why we're offering $10,000 in free oil changes to healthcare workers in our community. In addition, we're also going to offer $5,000 for free oil changes to those in the hospitality industry. So whether you're an essential healthcare worker, or a server, a dishwasher, or even a cook, we want to support you. Simply stop at Manitowoc Service Center and pick up your free oil change certificate. No questions asked. It's our way of saying thank you. Manitowoc Service Center, Manitowoc.
Manitowoc Service Center. Trust us.
And welcome back to our first of two Seehafer News debates this week here on 107.9 WOMT, 97.1 WCUB, WOMTradio.com, and CubRadio.com. Thank you for listening to our Seehafer News debate today, presented by Manitowoc Service Center in Manitowoc. Today we welcome the three candidates that are vying for a 2-year term to represent District 3 in the city of Manitowoc: Angela Myers, Teresa Collins, and Michael Cummings. The top two vote getters move on to the spring general election on April 6th, and the winner there gets a 2-year term to represent District 3. Again, we want to reiterate, I see phones ringing, but we will not be accepting any phone calls during the debates. Please do not call. If you do have any questions, you can feel free to text them to our WOMT Shoreline text line at 920-682-4674. Please use the area code. You must enable to get through 920-682-4674. Well, candidates, we do have we got some questions coming in, so why don't we go ahead and go there. And I believe Angela goes first this time, yes. And here's the question. What does each candidate feel is their number one strongest characteristic that will win my vote? That's a good question. Angela, go ahead, please.
Yeah, that is a really good question. Thanks for asking that, whoever sent it in. I think my biggest strength is that I'm willing to listen to all points of view. That I want people to express their points of view, and I want people to express their points of view to me, and I will listen, and I will be that voice to the council, bring to the council what people are saying to me. That's what I got.
Okay, Angela. I've got to turn my mic up.
Yeah,
Angela, thank you. And go ahead. Teresa, you're next.
Thanks. So I think that my dedication certainly is what sticks out the most, and also my courageousness and ability to take up an issue. People come to me all the time, and they have for the last several years, if they're having a real issue that they need backing on, that they need someone to be their voice, and this happens consistently. And they know I'm not afraid to back down from a fight, and they know that if I think it's the right thing to do, that I will go to bat for them. I also want to say, if I don't agree with them or their perspective, they also know that I will bring their information and their opinion to the table regardless of my own. So the representation and the courageousness to be able to stand up for individuals who need advocacy are by far my greatest strengths.
Thank you, Teresa. And Michael, go ahead, please.
Yeah, my core values are honesty, integrity, and respect. I will always be honest with everybody, regardless of whether it's good for me, bad for me, but I believe that the truth sets people free, and so regardless of what it is, I'll be honest. If there's something that I can't tell you based off of whatever reason, I will tell you I can't, and then the reason why I can't. Thus, on the other side, if there's anything you need to know and I can, and I am liberty to tell you, I will. The integrity part of it, I will always do the right thing, even when nobody's looking. So I don't have any interest or any aspect where I need to be swayed to go and do anything for other people. So I will always look to do what's right all the time. And then respect. Even if we have a differing of opinion, I will not disrespect anybody. I believe in being just a good person, and I believe that if we're all good people and we can foster that, then we can make the world a better place just by our presence.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Cummings, and I believe Teresa Collins will go first this time. Next question on the WOMT Shoreline text line for the candidates. What organizations are you or have you been involved in? Teresa, you can go ahead, please.
I chuckle because I almost feel like this is unfair because I have overextended myself the past several years in being involved in community. Now I have a period of time that I'm able to give this information, so I'm just going to read them off. It is the City of Manitowoc Citizens Advisory Committee, Crusaders of Justicia, the Manitowoc County Housing Coalition I'm a member of. I am the chair of the League of Women Voters Housing Study, and a member of their board a while back. Grant Professionals Association in alignment with my work. Court-appointed special advocate, volunteer advocate. The Association of Fundraising Professionals. Boys and Girls Club Steering Committee, getting that up and going in the beginning, and also on their board a little later on. Child Safety Network, watching out for those kiddos abused and neglected in the court system. Chamber Young Professionals, United Way Campaign Committee back in the day, Sexual Assault Resource Center, and Painting Pathways Clubhouse. That's a good time.
Okay, Teresa, thank you. And Mr. Cummings, you can go ahead, please.
Yeah, excuse me. Growing up, I've been a part of the FFA, the 4-H, also the Professional Police Association. I'm an NRA law enforcement instructor, so obviously a card-carrying member for that. Part of the Chamber of Commerce. I'm a sports official for the WIAA, and I believe that's about it for associations right now. Also, I have taken an active role in coaching my kids as well in their various sports programs, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, Mr. Cummings, Angela Myers, go ahead, please.
I've been a volunteer member of MYVA, and I've been a member, one of the freshman members of the Manitowoc Lincoln High School Football Booster Club. I have helped with various other organizations in just a limited capacity. I try to project to my family that we need to help and we need to aid other people. That's the the things that I'm an office manager, so I work. I'm a full-time mom, so my time is also limited as well.
Thank you, Angela. And again, for those of you just tuning in, you are listening to a Seehafer News debate presented by Novak Service Center Manitowoc for the three candidates that are vying for a seat to represent District 3 in the city of Manitowoc. The pre-primary is a week from today, February 16th. The top two vote-getters move on to the spring general election on April 6th, and the winner there will get a 2-year term to sit on the Common Council and represent District 3. If you have any questions, again, our WOMT Shoreline text line is taking questions, and I see we got quite a few coming in. We'll do our best to get to them all. 920-682-4674. That's 920-682-4674. And I believe Mr. Cummings goes first this time. The question is as follows, pretty timely. When not hampered by ice and snow, downtown traffic moves fast, making pedestrian travel dangerous. Do you believe that we need two-way streets to allow for more pedestrian traffic and to help the success of our downtown? Mr. Cummings, go ahead, please.
And the short answer, yes. I am a supporter of the two-way streets. There have been studies done where it does actually provide an economic revival for downtown area and businesses, and it would slow things down. Now, I understand that for the citizens in Manitowoc or people that are used to it, there would be a little bit of a learning curve, but just like anything else, if implemented, it would eventually, that learning curve, everybody get used to it and just be a core part. With the CN Peninsula, I almost think that is something that should be a requirement to make all of that work together well. Obviously, as being a father of 5 and my kids walking to Madison every single day, traffic safety is something that I am passionate about as well, because obviously I don't want anything to happen to my children, especially if I could do something about it. So along with the two-way intersections, I also would advocate for also making pedestrian safety a priority, especially when you look at how our parking is and when you look at the Manitowoc long-term plan. The pedestrian walking paths are something that has been a focus anyway. So where we can make enhancements to pedestrian safety, I would definitely be an advocate for it.
Thank you, Mr. Cummings. Angela Myers, you can go ahead, please.
I agree with Mike when it comes to enhancing pedestrian safety in the downtown area and in the district in general. Changing 8th Street and 10th Street corridors to the two-way streets. My kids also walk to Madison every day, so traffic going slow or at a moderate level is something that definitely needs to be changed. So I'm not totally sold on the idea of changing the corridors, but I'm pretty sure that just with a couple more studies that we can figure out a way to for this to work for everyone involved, especially pedestrians walking in the downtown area.
Thank you, Angela. Teresa, go ahead, please.
Thank you. Yeah, downtown traffic, the street conversion to two-way traffic just needs to happen. It's needed to happen for a very long time. We've been talking about it for so many years. I have had a lot of meetings with people in the know about this issue in the last couple of months, and it just comes down to it needs to happen, and I'm really supportive of the project overall. One-way streets are designed for speedways, right? We want to get through one-way streets quickly, so of course we're going to have some problems with speeding when we have one-way streets. We convert that to two-way streets, there's so many advantages, including it's been shown that we can raise the revenues for local retailers in the downtown area by at least 10% just by making this conversion. To me, that alone is worth it, and I've heard constituents say it would just be great if the car ferry people could take a left coming off the car ferry and benefit from everything we have downtown.
Thank you, Teresa. And again, if you were just tuning in, we're just about to the halfway point of our special Seehafer News debate presented by Novak Service Center Manitowoc. I'm moderator Brian Norton as we have the three candidates that will be paired to two a week from today. And then the top two vote getters in next Tuesday's spring primary will advance onto the Tuesday, April 6th general election. And then the top vote getter there will win a 2-year term beginning April 20th to sit on the Manitowoc Common Council to represent District 3. You are listening to the Seehafer News Debates, and they are presented by Novak Service Center, Manitowoc.
Winter weather keeps you indoors, but don't let the snow and slush get in the way of your routine vehicle maintenance. Hi, this is Jeremiah Novak. Our experts are ready to take care of your automotive upkeep, including servicing your brakes, replacing your battery, and changing your oil. At Novak Service Center, we'll even pick up your car and drop it back off, so you never have to go out in the cold again. So next time you're in need of a mechanic, trust us at Novak.
Novak Service Center. Trust us.
And welcome back to our Seehafer News Debates. They are presented by Novak Service Center in Manitowoc. About halfway through our debate today for the three candidates that are on the spring primary election to represent District 3 on the Manitowoc Common Council. They are Angela Myers, Teresa Collins, and Michael Cummings. Top two vote getters advance to the April 6th general election, and then on April 20th, the winner there will take a 2-year term to represent District 3 on the Common Council. Tomorrow, same time, the three candidates for District 7 will be here for a pre-primary debate, and that'll be tomorrow, same time, 1 to 2 o'clock. If you have any questions, please text them to our WOMT Shoreline text line. It is 920-682-4674, 920-682-4674. You must use the area code, and again, we are not taking any phone calls during today's debate. And I believe, Michael Cummings, you're going to go first this time. And a question on the WOMT Shoreline text line. If you were given a $1 million grant for the city, what would you do with it and why?
That's a good question. I guess I haven't really thought of that one before. The first thing I think that I would do with it is consult the rest of the city council and look at our master plan and see what the most pressing need is at the time. One of the things that I don't believe in is just making off-the-cuff decisions. I believe in making solid plans and then sticking to those plans as well. If we did have a surplus of money, there would be something I'm sure that would be something where it would be needed more so than elsewhere.
Thank you, Mr. Cummings. And Angela Myers, go ahead, please.
Thank you. What I feel would be that we'd have to talk to the council and figure out what the greatest need was, like Mike said. But I really think that one of the biggest needs in downtown area is the parking situation. Perhaps a parking garage, a 2-story parking garage with maybe opportunities for apartments on the top floor. That is an option. That's an option that's been floated around before. That might be a thing to do, but definitely the council with the surplus would have to talk about it, would have to keep the public informed, would have to get public input, but that might be a definite option.
Thank you, Angela Myers. Teresa Collins, you can go ahead, please.
Thank you. I love this question, and I have given this a great deal of thought, actually, and I think I love Angela's answer with the parking structure. I agree with that. We've had some great ideas from some of our local downtown businesses about what we could have in that parking structure, and it sounds really exciting. I think it would be very cool to have something like that downtown. And then giving it more thought, I was thinking, our small businesses are struggling right now. If we had $1 million, we could give 100 small businesses who really need it in light of COVID situation $10,000 each. Now, I'm a grant writer, so I think about what we can do with these grant funds if we were to tap into some of this COVID relief funding, and it is possible we can do that, and there are so many small businesses who could really use that $10,000.
Thank you, Teresa Collins. And I believe, Angela Myers, you're going to go first this time. And we have a question again on our WOMT Shoreline text line. We'll begin with Angela Myers. Question for all of you. What is your plan, if any, to promote more diversity in our community? Angela Myers, go ahead, please.
Well, that's a really good question. I believe I like the things that I've been seeing. I've seen the MLK Day in Manitowoc. I thought that was a really great thing. The Crusaders of Justicia, the different groups, the Lakeshore United Visionaries. These groups are great groups to help promote diversity, and I would definitely want to work with them more, get their ideas, and find out what they feel. What other kind of things that they could bring, what kind of, maybe a festival, something they could do to bring to Manitowoc to promote the diversity that is here.
Thank you, Angela Myers. Teresa Collins, go ahead, please.
Thank you. You are right in my wheelhouse once again here. So diversity has always been just a passion of mine, a true passion of mine. And I love the fact and deeply appreciate the fact that Angela brought up Crusaders of Justicia and the impact that we're making. I'm actually on the vice president of their board of directors currently. Also, I was one of the 4 community members who organized that MLK Day in Manitowoc, the first ever. We brought MLK Day to Manitowoc for the first time ever, and wow, that was an undertaking. We did it quickly. We pulled it off. We had some tech issues, but it turned out amazing, and we have great ideas going forward for the future, including changing our mission statement, hopefully getting it back to once again include the term arts, humanities, and cultural diversity in Manitowoc.
Thank you, Teresa Collins. Michael Cummings, go ahead, please.
Yeah, the United States of America is the melting pot of the world, right? We have diverse people spanning all cultures, all ethnicities, you name it. And Manitowoc is no different, right? We have people from all different backgrounds in this city, and obviously that should be embraced. So in the event that if somebody wants to hold an event, we should be able to support that as a city. We should be able to embrace it and obviously do what we can to work with diverse groups to go and make it a welcoming place for all people. On that, I believe that diversity for all organizations, we should have a standard set of rules that everybody's held by. And if diversity happens in that organizational structure because the rules and standards were upheld, then that's what we should promote.
Thank you, Michael Cummings. And we have another question in on our WOMT Shoreline text line. And Teresa Collins, you'll go first. Mariners Trail is one of the top trails in the state according to many tourism publications. What is your commitment to maintain and beautify the trail? There's another question that piggybacks on this. So Why don't we just deal with that one first, if you have any answers or opinions on that. And Teresa Collins, go ahead, please.
Sure. Mariner's Trail is something I have given a great deal of thought to. I'm so proud of its existence and how far it's come in the last few years. And I have been in contact with that department and given my thoughts on what they're doing. They've gotten some really cool grants lately. I'm just really proud of the development in that area, and I'd love to see that trail just go all the way through from Two Rivers and just carry it on down as far as we can go and get a great capitalize on our waterfront using that Mariner's Trail as well.
Thank you, Teresa Collins. Michael Cummings, go ahead, please.
Yeah, Mariner's Trail is something that that I've used quite frequently in my time here at Manitowoc. We routinely take bike rides, walks, and just absolutely love it. I think it's a real gem for our area. So any improvements that we can make to continue to make that is something that people want to go to. Obviously, I've done the strip where you go from the YMCA all the way up to the Two Rivers Lighthouse, or the Two Rivers Park area. It's a great strip. But connecting that all together, having things to do, waypoints along the way, where people make it a destination, is something that I think that we should further expand and promote.
Thank you, Michael Cummings. Angela Myers.
Yeah, Mike, I agree with you when you say that we should have some kind of waypoints. So the trail, when you go through the trail, it's something that my family uses as well, being close to the lake. There are gardens in a couple areas, and I think that we should expand that idea to give people more beauty to see along those trails. There are certain spots in those trails that there isn't much there. There isn't a reason for people to want to stop and stay. Then that's what we want. We want people to stop and stay in Manitowoc longer. And maintaining the trail, maybe adding more gardens, adding more bricks, maybe something to beautify this trail would be a great thing for us.
Thank you, Angela Myers. And you are listening to a Seehafer News debate presented by Novak Service Center in Manitowoc. We are hearing from the three candidates that are on the spring primary election ballot a week from today. That'll be pared down to two on your vote. Angela Myers, Teresa Collins, Michael Cummings, all looking for a 2-year term to sit on the Manitowoc Common Council for representing District 3 constituents. And again, if you do not know where that is, we have the answer for you. The downtown area, specifically from Waldo Boulevard south to Columbus Street, and from Lake Michigan west to South 10th, along the Manitowoc River to Spring Street and North 11th, basically a pretty good chunk of the northern part of the city that is bounded by some beautiful waters. And we'll hear more from the three candidates, plus more questions coming in on our WOMT Shoreline text line. If you have anything, still some time at 920-682-4674. These are the Seehafer News debates presented by Novak Service Center in Manitowoc.
Novak Service Center. Trust us.
At Novak Service Center, we're more than your local mechanic. We're a family-owned business, and we understand the importance of shopping local, supporting those in need, and showing our appreciation. That's why we're offering $10,000 in free oil changes to healthcare workers in our community. In addition, we're also going to offer $5,000 for free oil changes to those in the hospitality industry. So whether you're an essential healthcare worker, or a server, a dishwasher, or even a cook, we want to support you. Simply stop at Novak Service Center and pick up your free oil change certificate. No questions asked. It's our way of saying thank you. Novak Service Center, Manitowoc.
Novak Service Center. Trust us.
Welcome back to the Seehafer News debates presented by Novak Service Center Manitowoc. I'm moderator Brian Norton with the three candidates are on the spring primary election ballot 1 week from today. Constituents in District 3, you have a choice of Angela Myers, Teresa Collins, and Michael Cummings. It'll be pared down to two. Those two will go to the spring election general ballot on Tuesday, April 6th, and the winner there will get a 2-year term beginning Tuesday, April 20th to represent District 3 on the Manitowoc Common Council. And again, I see phones ringing. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to reiterate, we will not take phone calls during the debate today or tomorrow. Please do not give us a call. If you have anything, please use and take advantage of our WOMT Shoreline text line at 920-682-4674, 920-682-4674. A reminder, tomorrow afternoon, same time, on WOMT and WCUB, we'll have the three candidates vying for a seat on District 7, or I should say in District 7, and that'll be tomorrow, right here, same time, 1 to 2 p.m. Michael Cummings, you go first on this one. Question is this simple. Do you support the Bay Point Development Project?
Yes, I do support it. That'd be our CN Peninsula, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I do support that. I mean, anytime that you can gain land, in the city and of course expand that part of it. And then I did read the plan for it. We're just going to go and bring housing and other businesses as well. It only can help our downtown area. The nice part about it is a clean slate that we have right now. So as long as we do our due diligence ahead of time, have a solid plan ahead of time, it could be something absolutely magnificent and a gem for our city, and then get people to our downtown area even more. And really, there's really nothing but good that can come from it as long as we do it right and do it right from the beginning.
Thank you, Michael Cummings. Angela Myers, please.
Short answer, yes, I do support the River Point District. We have the revitalization of one of the old buildings, one of the historic buildings by Petskill Brewing. That would be great when that is finished. We have the river walk that's planned in the area along the river. The housing, we want the mix of housing and and business. That's a great thing for our city. It's going to increase the base and increase the money. It's an all around. It's a good thing for for Manitowoc.
Thank you, Angela Myers. Teresa Collins, please.
Yeah, I am so excited about the River Point District and the development happening down there. How cool is it that we found this additional chunk of land and we have the opportunity to really do whatever we want. It's a canvas that we can just paint whatever we want on. It is fantastic that we have some developers already interested in buying up land in that district. I'm loving the timeline. Looks like we're going to see some stuff happening really soon. And what I would really love, though, is to get more citizen input into the development of this project. We have stuff to say. You have stuff to say. You want to know what's going in down there, and you want to give us some ideas. I would just love to see a survey go out that asks you all what you want to see in that district as well.
Thank you, Teresa Collins, and I think we got all the answers, didn't we?
Yep.
Just wanted to make sure. Okay. Going first this time will be Angela Myers, and here's the question. Good public health requires good government regulation. Wisconsin ranks very high in adults vaccinated against COVID-19. Do you believe that all should be required to wear face coverings according to our state mandate? Angela Myers.
That's a really good question. CDC guidelines give us the guidelines for wearing face masks in public places, in places that we cannot maintain 6 feet of distance. I believe that the vaccinations that have been going on, we need to get more. This needs to happen more and quicker. We need to push for vaccinations. And in the meantime, we need to keep our distance, wash our hands, wear our masks. It's a matter of, it's a health issue. It's a matter of caring for others. This is what we need to do.
Thank you, Angela Myers. Teresa Collins, go ahead, please.
Okay, guys, we're so close here, and we just need to do this right now. We are doing better, and we can get this done. We need to wear our masks. We need to take these precautions. We need to get vaccinated, and this is a public health crisis. This is not something that we're uncertain about. There's research telling us and science telling us what we need to do to overcome this. So we have the guidelines. You all know to wash your hands and wear your mask and maintain your distance. Let's just get it done together. I've talked to small business owners. They're like, if we could just get over this, if we could all just comply with the health officials and what science is telling us to do, we could beat this thing and we could get back out there to normal again.
Thank you, Teresa Collins. Michael Cummings, go ahead, please.
Yeah, when it comes down to a state mandate, and if there's an enforceable action, then we obviously should have to comply because there is an enforceable action. The last state mandate, the number 7 on there was a civil penalty that you would be subject to forfeiture if you didn't wear it. Now, that being said, if there is not a enforceable action on a mandate, I believe it should be led up to personal choice whether or not you want to go and wear the mask or not. If the social distancing piece of it is what we're doing, then yes, you can do that. Washing your hands is basic hygiene. We should have been always doing that anyway. And then as far as it comes down to vaccinations, we can go and, if you want to get your vaccination, go and get it. If you don't, it should be led up to personal choice as well, whether or not you want to get it. The other aspect of it is if you happen to be afraid of contracting COVID, the other option is not going out as well and doing other options that have spurned since this whole COVID crisis has arisen.
Thank you, Michael Cummings. And you are listening to a special presentation today on WOMT and WCUB, and also WOMTradio.com and CubRadio.com. The Seehafer News Debates presented by Novak Service Center in Manitowoc. We are hearing today from Teresa Collins, Michael Cummings, and Angela Myers. 3 candidates looking to get your vote and advance to the top 2 vote getters on the spring general election ballot on Tuesday, April 6th. And the winner there will then earn a 2-year term to represent District 3 on the Manitowoc Common Council beginning on Tuesday, April the 20th. You're listening to the Seehafer News Debates presented by Novak Service Center, Manitowoc.
Novak Service Center. Trust us. Complete comprehensive auto servicing since 1972. We stand behind our work with extended warranties. Novak's experts will take care of you for peace of mind repair. Novak's is there. Novak Service Center. Trust us.
And welcome back to the Seehafer News Debates presented by Novak Service Center in Manitowoc. We are beginning to slowly wind things down as we come up on 147. Closing statements will come up in just a few moments. And if you, again, have a question, we will try to get it in. I think we should be okay on our WOMT Shoreline text line at 920-682-4674. And I believe, Michael Cummings, you're going to go first this time. And the question on our WOMT Shoreline text line is as follows. Do you support using city dollars to continue refurbishing the Lake Michigan dike, much like the area near the yacht club?
I believe that if the city of Manitowoc owns property, which I'm right now at this point I'm not familiar if they own that part of it. I'm assuming they do. Then yes, we could use city of Manitowoc dollars to go and make sure that that property is as good as what it could be. If any area is a blight area or could be improved, and we have the means to go and improve it, then I think that we should, based off of any fiscal budget that we might have allocated for that.
Thank you, Michael Cummings. Angela Myers, please.
Yes, personally, I don't know if that area is owned by the city, but the thing is, like Mike had just said, anything that's owned by the city needs to be maintained by the city. And if the city needs to purchase land because of blight and it needs things that need to be fixed, then perhaps that needs to be put into the city budget for us to fix it and get it up to code. Or I don't know much about that specific area, but like I said, if it's city owned, city has to maintain it.
Thank you, Angela Myers. Teresa Collins, please.
Yeah, so look, we are sitting on a gold mine. We are we have a gem in our Lake Michigan. We have so much opportunity to just beautify our shores out there and our beaches. We have just unlimited opportunity with Lake Michigan, and we should use city dollars to continue to bring people to Manitowoc and really enhance this gem that we have out there. So I'd love to see some beautiful beaches out there, a boardwalk. I'd love to see some development in that area, and there have been some pretty exciting things that I think are going to come up in that area facing Lake Michigan, and I hope that we capitalize on that. I would love to see some, kayak launches put in and some more boat docks where we need them a little further on down the river. There's just so much that we can do with our beautiful shores of Lake Michigan here in Manitowoc.
Thank you, Teresa Collins. There was a question in here. I think it's a very important one that we need to ask here. It does not come from the WOMT Shoreline text line, but it is emailed in. And Angela Myers, we're going to begin with you. Each newly elected candidate is required to serve on 2 committees. Which 2 would you like to serve on, and why?
That's a tough question. I think the main committee that I would serve on would be the committee, I'm not sure which committees that there are. That's what part of what I need, but I think the budget committee would be perfect for me. My degree in accounting and my degree in mathematics would be ideal to help the city to maintain their budget.
Thank you, Angela Myers. Teresa Collins, please.
Thank you. I think the Public Safety Committee and also the Human Resources Committee. I would like to serve on those 2, and it's tough to choose. There's all kinds of different ones that I could see myself have an interest in, and would certainly do my homework and take an interest in any ones besides those. But Public Safety Committee, really, they address parking. Just last night I did at the Public Safety Committee, I gave my public input on parking with a specific plan to change 29 spots from 2 hour over to unlimited so that we can improve, just a small step in improving some of those parking issues downtown. And then the Human Resources Committee, I would love to see some diversity and leadership throughout the city of Manitowoc, and I think that would be the place that I could really be impactful there.
Thank you, Teresa Collins. Michael Cummings, go ahead, please.
Yeah, it's too bad that you only get to pick 2. I happen to be somebody that just likes to go and get involved with as much as I can and impact as much as I can. But if I had to choose 2, the first one would be the Finance Committee. Obviously, with everything that gets done, there's a dollar amount to it. So to have a full understanding as far as what things cost, that literally drives your action. Because if we can have all the best ideas in the world, but if we can't afford it, we can't do it. So understanding that and having an input on that would obviously be number 1. The second one, I'd have to say, because I have my 5 kids and we use our city parks quite a bit, the Parks and Recreation Committee, I absolutely would love to see those get expanded and be a hub for families to go and enjoy a Saturday or Sunday afternoon and be inviting. So that part of it, and if for extra credit, if I had a third, it'd obviously be the public safety one as well. There again, like I said earlier, my kids walk to school. I work at Point Beach Nuclear Plant. We're huge on safety, and so that is a core value of mine, is to make our city as safe as we possibly could as well.
Thank you, Michael Cummings. One more question here before we get to closing statements, and Teresa Collins, you'll go first, please. Just fill in the blank. I love living in Manitowoc, blank. Why?
That's tough. I have traveled quite a bit, and I've seen lots of communities, and I continue to just refer people to Manitowoc and tell people that I live in the greatest community that there is. I am so impressed by the development that has happened in the recent years, the beautification of what we're seeing in my district, in the downtown area. It has just been amazing, and visitors coming to town who have been here 5 years ago, they come back and they just comment on how beautiful and how wonderful everything is. So I love being here because of the how we are really not just recognizing the potential for growth, but absolutely acting out that potential and getting out there and making a change and making a difference. And every day we see another piece of that amazing difference and beautification that's happening. Thank you,
Teresa Collins. Michael Cummings, please.
Yeah, I love living in Manitowoc just because I honestly think it's a little slice of heaven on earth. I've been to 8 different countries traveling. I've been obviously throughout the United States. And when you look at what we have here as far as natural resources, I mean, at my house, we can go for a walk. And it's only a 30-minute walk, and I can go to the lighthouse. I got the lake. I can stop and get ice cream. I can go west of the Lake Gardens. I mean, there's just so many things you can do. Now, there's things that we take for granted here in Manitowoc that you don't in other cities as well. Like, for example, I don't need to go and worry about my safety when I'm out and about. Like, I literally don't think that if I go out and about that anything bad's going to happen to me. The weather is, granted we have some cold, but our summers are not too hot. Our winters really aren't that bad. And then on top of that, you take a look at insects and all that stuff. We got to deal with mosquitoes, but that's really about the only thing that's going to hurt us. So it's great all around. And then the beautification that's happened is just awesome.
Thank you, Michael Cummings. Angela Myers, please.
Well, I love Manitowoc because of the school districts. I love all the teachers and how great they are and how much they want to see your kids, your children succeed. I love the fact that it's a tight-knit community. I love the museums, the variety of things to do, the museums, the Capitol, the car ferry, the lakefront, everything. This is all in one place, and it's so great that we have this here. That we just, it's a jewel of the lake shore.
Thank you, Angela Myers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to our closing statements of our debate. And Michael Cummings, you were last on the opening statements, so you now can go ahead and give your closing statement for all the listeners today. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I can't tell you all the issues I may or may not face on the city council. I can't predict how much influence officially I will have, but I can tell you that I will advocate, for District 3 in whatever we have. I will make sure that we have our best interests in mind. So when you elect me, you'll get someone who won't be outworked in making a decision. I believe that when something comes up, I would take a look at all sides of it from every perspective. I also understand I'm not going to make every single person happy in every decision, but I feel that you can get close to that. The thing is, what I find in life is if people don't agree with what you're saying, at least if they know the why, then they can at least understand it. So that being said, on my website, MikeCummings.net, I have the Mike's Take. If I get elected, I'm going to keep that up. And issues that arise, I'm going to publish there. If you need to get a hold of me, you'll have an easy way to get contact or get a hold of me as well for that. And I will work every day to make the city a better place.
Thank you, Michael Cummings. Teresa Collins, please.
Thank you. So I'm not waiting until I'm elected to read the studies and information of interest to our citizens. I've already read them because I know that it's important for a candidate to walk the talk and show what she is dedicated and prepared to do. I am experienced, qualified, and dedicated for this position. I am the owner and principal consultant at Beacon Organizational Consulting for the last 6 years right downtown, guiding nonprofits towards financial sustainability. I work on large-scale projects in our community, such as the MYBA Citizens Park Project, where we helped find the funding for that. I have had boots on the ground with many nonprofit organizations essential to our community. I also have a website that I worked really hard on. That is not my forte, as it turns out. Collins number 4 councilD3.com. I'd love for you to visit there or contact me for a yard sign. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa Collins. Angela Myers, please.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Basically, my business experience and my degrees, I have a degree in mathematics education and I have a degree in accounting, and my volunteer experience have poised me to help the city. I have a fresh perspective for all the issues. I'm here to listen to everyone's concerns, and I'm also there, I'm making a commitment to make sure that everyone has, that communicate the council happenings, the city happenings, that everything that is going on, that is communicated to people in a timely manner so that people know what's going on before the final decisions are made. I have a Facebook page, and that will be also kept up so that people can be informed. I just want to tell everyone that you can vote early, or you can vote at the safety building on next Tuesday at 10th and Franklin.
Thank you, Angela Myers. Well, to all three of you, Michael Cummings, Teresa Collins, Angela Myers, thank you for participating in our Seehafer News debate today. Best of luck to all three of you next Tuesday and moving forward. Thank you for taking time out of your day to share your views and opinions for those in District 3 and throughout the city of Manitowoc. Thank all of you for being here today. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks for having us.
And Angela Myers, Teresa Collins, Michael Cummings, they'll be on the ballots next Tuesday, February 16th. They'll pare it down to 2. Top 2 move on to Tuesday, April 6th, the spring general election. The winner there gets a 2-year term to represent District 3. Tomorrow, 1 to 2 o'clock, the 3 candidates for District 7 will join us. We would like you to join us again tomorrow for another edition of our Seehafer News Debates. The Seehafer News Debates are presented by Manitowoc Service Center, Manitowoc. Good afternoon.
Award-winning local news is on 1240 AM WOMT Manitowoc and 107.9 FM W300 EE Manitowoc, a Seehafer broadcasting station.